All right, y'all. I think I got everything pretty much set up, and we're just gonna go ahead and dive into a sketch. Predator, Badlands. All right, let's see if we can line some things up real quick. I mean, where's the bottom of the paper? Okay, boom, boom. All right, I mean, I got it about lined up. About lined up. I'm gonna do a little sketch today. Predator Badlands. Okay, let's see here. I think I got it here. Let's see. Okay. So, I know I want the head to be kind of here-ish. So, let's just say if it's something like this, right? If that's where the chin is. We're gonna say, okay. The face generally will come up like this, right? His head is huge, so we're just gonna go something like that. Just get kind of like an idea. So it would actually come out way out here, right? And his neck. All right, we're just gonna get like some approximations on this, yeah. You know. Boom, something like that. So then from here, I know, his cheek and stuff will come out like that. It'll come like this, maybe like here or something. Into that, right? And then from here is where his little thing is. I'm gonna guesstimate this. We're just gonna guesstimate this, y'all. Something like that. It'll come down, something like that, and it'll go off to the side here. So maybe we make that a little bit bigger or something like that. All right, and then this side will probably come down something like that. Should then connect there. Something like that. Which the side should come off like that too. Something like that. And we got some kind of metal stuff here. So and it will come off like something like that. Okay. All right. Now we can just start. We got like a kind of a base here. Let's see. So it's actually kind of close to what I want there. So it's got the cloth in here, right? Doing something like this. And I never really try to get it 100% accurate when I'm just sketching and just trying to get a feel for it there. We're just going to do this. My kids are acting kind of crazy in there. They're supposed to be doing some stuff. Okay, we're just gonna go like that. I think today we're just gonna do like a black and gray kind of version of this. I'm gonna try and keep it simple today because I need to really do other things today. So, we're just gonna go for approximations on everything, y'all, and just try to have fun with it. Let's see. So if it connects there, we'll come up to here. Boom. All right. And go like that or something, and then this part comes down off of there and cuts that way. It's fine. Like I said, I'm not really trying to get this 100% perfect. We just want to have some approximations in here of where some stuff should be. All right, we're getting close to that, so that's close enough there. And then up here, this other spot should come down real close to this. You know, should be like a spot there, something right here, which comes up. We can just kind of fill in the rest as we go. Boom, boom. Because I'm probably gonna bring that part down anyway to like right here. You know, right there. That's gonna be like where his mouth is gonna come down to. There's a tooth here. So, all right, we're gonna start working his face, y'all. We're just gonna start working the face now. So we can kind of go from here, and we know that this is gonna be kind of where it's at, right here. And we'll kind of work this in like that. And then we're going to put the other tooth right on up here. So okay. Like I said, we're just sketching and just, you know, so when you're sketching, you just can just, you know, mess around, man. I mean, that's what it's about, just trying to figure out things. That's why I like sketching, because you're always just trying different things, you know. You're trying different things when you're sketching. And stuff doesn't have to be 100% perfect. All right, cool. That's that. I think that looks good like that, and then we can kind of dip that in a little bit like that, and it comes off. Now this is approximately where the eye socket kind of comes in from there. You know, the center of the face is, it's a little offset, so really it should be like something like right in here. You know, it's gonna come all the way down. So, you know, the chin part right here is kind of like a something like this, but it's going to flare up like that, connecting to this part right here. So that's going to be, you know, kind of like a neck part right here too. Like, you know, something like that. Okay. And this face is going to come right through there. So, you know, and if his eyes are right up here, right, you know, this is approximately where the nose, bridge nose would be, or bridge of what a nose would be. Right there. You know, something like that. You know. So now if his eye is in here, right, if this is like right where the bridge part of his center face is, right in there, right, like that, right? Okay, that looks about right where it should be, and we can just guesstimate this too. Okay, I think we're starting to work it out how it should be there. And this comes up here, then there's a spot here that comes down, which will then open up like this. It should be like kind of like a little line that comes down. Okay, we can slowly work this in, I think, I think that's starting to come together there. Okay, this is starting to come together, nice and slow. And clearly it's gonna come right here, and the forehead will start to come out like this, but there's more to it. We'll go like that. All right, so then if his eye would be like just off of this, so right in here is where his eye would be. So we just go ahead and throw the eye right there. Okay. We're gonna bring that in dark once we kind of shape this up a little bit, I think. Okay, slowly starting to get some shape and form here, I guess. And then from here, I think I'll go like this to bring that in, just like that. Like I said, I never really care about things being 100% perfect because we're just sketching, y'all. We're just trying to have fun with sketch work, We're just messing around with it, just trying to get a feel for things, This is how you learn to get better at drawing. You just practice sketching and work on things as you go, man. Because it's never going to be 100% perfect. Okay. And then the rest of the forehead will come off of that. So like really there should be a spot right here, right? And then coming down off of this part, it should come out a little bit. Okay. Okay. And then that. And then it should be coming off of this and connecting right about there. Something like that. Okay. And then what we can do is coming off of this, we're just going to go ahead and do some shadows. Really light type shadows that just kind of and dark. I'm gonna go dark right here, dark on that edge right there, because it's kind of a little separation there on his face, we want this part to be a little bit darker, and then this can be shadowed out a little bit, so you can just like that. And find like a little dark spot, something right there with a little bit right there. Should be fine. Okay. All right. Okay. Now we're slowly going to work this into. Okay. And inside of this part right here will be where his mouth will start to conform right in here. Right here is where his tooth is. Ooh. Inside tooth there. And actually I should have left that kind of open there, because really it's like the tooth comes down like this. It's like a little spit or something coming off his tooth. Inside here will be where his mouth is. So right here we got like a little bit of the cheek coming out. Okay. Okay, we can just slowly start to work this in right here. Mostly shadow there. All right, cool. Just gonna slowly build it in, little bit by little bit, y'all. If y'all want to get your sketchbook and like follow along and draw, sketch with me, it's fine too, I'm gonna slowly kind of create shadows here and kind of work them out. Okay. Like I said, it's fun to sketch because like when you're sketching, you're just trying different things. You don't even have to like I follow a picture, but I don't actually follow the picture 100%. You know what I mean? Like, I'm looking at a picture, but then I kind of like just sometimes I'll do my own lines. A lot of times I'll just say, hey, I don't really think that's gonna fit in how I'm drawing, so I'm just gonna kind of manipulate it to look how I think it should in my picture. and just you kind of guess, how you want your dark spots to be, because you can look at something and say, hey, this has color, this doesn't. I'm doing shadows, so you can kind of just work it how you think will make it look better on your picture. And we can always come in with darker blacks, to kind of make it even darker in certain spots, like you got your with a pencil, you got like a certain charcoal, and then this is like black, and then you got like ebony, so you can get different shades, you can get different shades, so it's like okay. There we go. And let's just come in like this with that. So yeah, we can always, like I said, come back in and make that darker. And I think we can put the shadow a little darker in there. Do like a light shadow right here. Okay. So his other tooth should be right about here, y'all. Like I said, I just guesstimate a lot of this stuff, y'all. Is it 100% accurate? No, it's not. It's definitely not 100% accurate, y'all. Like, the space might be a little bit wider right there, but it's fine. I think it's close enough. All right, so we're working our way down. We're gonna put the bottom teeth in, which are like approximately right here, so it should be one right here, which touches another tooth actually. So we can do like this, kind of put like a little bit of a shadow there on it, and then there's another tooth right next to it. It comes right on up. There's a little like that. See that? And then the other tooth's a little higher, so it comes right off like this, but it's not. There's a little gap in between here, and then it comes up. So like that. Looks more like that. And then we can go with there's a smaller tooth here, small gap here. So you just go boom. This tooth's a little bit crookeder. And the shadow goes like that. Alright, so that's the little bottom teeth there. And then the mouth is still kind of coming out like this. So we can go ahead and fill this in a little bit. Comes right on into this little groove here with the teeth. Sharpen that up some. Comes right on in there like that. And this part is a little darker in here. So we'll come in with some black or blacks for that. And then okay, so you got this part here, right? Which comes like that. Okay. Comes down, this comes down a little bit. There's like a kind of coming off of this part right here. You got kind of like a lip ish kind of spot right here. You know, it's kind of like a little lip there, you know. It comes up like that, and then this part comes and it goes like this into this little groove right here. So something like that, you know. And then we got a little darker spot here that kind of like comes out like this, which creates like this little lip here. Okay, just kind of working our way up, working our way this way, you know. We're working our way this way, you know. And we'll start doing some of the top up here too, right? So we'll do some of this. So it should be like a little spot here, and they're coming off. Like that, you know. And from here, it's like a small spot there. Okay. And then there's plenty of lines in here. We're going to have to work them in. Give me a second. I'll let the dog in. I'll be right back. All right, let's see here. So where we left off at, oh yeah, we was up at the top here working it in. So, you know, kind of just working these spots in here, putting the little shadows on this part right here. And there's like right in the center here, there's one like two part like that comes out like that, and then a smaller one. So we'll do like this, and then we'll come off of this to make that smaller one. You know, like that. And then on this side, we've got these spots that like come like this. So I'll do like that. Come off the top of that. Like that. And then this part comes and kind of connects with this part. Like that. So you got that two part right there. Something like that. And it's like another spot here where it comes off again. And this two part kind of like comes in and goes like that. Yeah, it's interesting. They got like a Predator movie coming out. You know, it's been a while since we had the Predator movie, huh? So I think that's pretty close. You know, that's not 100%. Like I said, we're not going for 100% accuracy. We're just trying to have fun with a little sketch, y'all. So, you know, if you follow along, you want to draw, man, come on, like, you know, get your sketchbook out. If you need me to slow down, I'll try to slow down, but I gotta kind of move because I do have some other things I need to do. But we're gonna try to like have some fun with it and just etch in these lines right quick. So you just kind of like making these lines in his forehead. They don't gotta look exactly like they look in the picture. I never really care about all that. I just try to make it look similar. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect. You know, you just know it's like little wrinkles, and you can kind of smudge them because, you know, if you're going for real fine details, yeah, you can take your time and do like real fine details, but you don't have to, man. You can literally just kind of etch stuff in like this, and it works, man. Like this will, you know, it'll look similar, close enough. You know, sometimes that's all you need is close enough. It doesn't have to be 100% accurate. You know, you can kind of make it up as you go sometimes, and it's fine. You know, you just want it to be kind of close. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect. You know, you just know it has like all these little wrinkles in his forehead. You know, right here there's like a spot that you kind of can distinguish. So you just kind of like insinuate that that spot exists. You know, that this spot here exists, where it's like a little, you know, and it comes like this. That's all. You just want to kind of make it look as close to that as possible. Doesn't have to be 100%, y'all. You know, just kind of want it to be kind of close. That's it. You know. It's the fun with drawing, man. You could just kind of make it your own as you go. And now you could come in, you can kind of like, you know, smudge it a little bit. You know, you do some smudging. You know, smudging helps in your drawings. You know, you can come back over darker spots and you can kind of like lightly hit the spots you want to kind of be dark, but not super dark. So like that, you know, we can smudge it in. I know I want this area to be darker because it's, you know, where his eye is, and I kind of want to like a shadow there, you know. So we're just gonna kind of smudge it a little bit, just like that. And you can come back in that because there's little details under here, so you can kind of like just kind of like put a little bitty details, not a lot. And there, it doesn't have to be a lot. Just kind of like there's something there, you know. It's fine. Doesn't have to be perfect. And where you want it to kind of stand out a little more, you just kind of like go back over it a little bit. Okay. And it's starting to come together, y'all. It's starting to come together. Just little bits by little bits, you know. Okay, so we got about half of his face done here, and what I would do is, because there's some dark spots here, I would rather be a little darker. We can come in and kind of like shape this. You know, you can kind of shape it like that. Bring that in to make it look like it's a little more curved. Smudge it a little bit, shape it. And this whole spot should be dark right here, so kind of want this to be more shadowy right here, like that. Okay. Now you see the drawing will start to come together as we work it more, you know. And what you do is you take this and you smudge that down too. Like that. Come off of this, put a little bit more shadow on here. You know. All right. That's this side is actually coming together kind of nice. Push that off to the side. All right, so let's continue working. I think I want to start at the top, finish this part off here, and kind of bring the face down, and then we'll come into this. So I think we should go from up here, which there's more tubing coming off like that, right? Something like that. You got a flatter piece here. Okay. All right. So we can kind of work this down too. You know, some of this is a little connected there. Okay. And then from here, it's a big tube coming off right in here. So this tube right here is going to come off here. And it's going to come all the way out here. Just like that. And this part actually comes down into this area here. So I say like that. And it kind of dives off into that, like that. But the shadows are really unique here. So like that. And then this part, there should be something there. So right here is where our other shadow should lie. Right off of that. Which then comes like this. So alright. Okay. It's starting to come together. Starting to. Just like that. Okay. And now we got some more that comes underneath this, but it comes off of that, so it should come like that. And there's a little space in there, stopping right about there. So I would go like that and then come off to here. Then there's like a little spot that connects us here. Okay. And this actually seats down off of this like that. And what I would do is then bring this tube right off into that. Right there. What you can do is kind of like shadow that in. Okay. All right. And we've got right up in here. There's a little spot here. Tube coming off of this. And it connects there. Off of there. And from here, there's a little spot that goes like something like that. And something like that. Okay, that's about close. Right there. Okay, cool. So now the rest of the forehead kind of comes out from over here. So start kind of boxing this in. Like that. I think that looks good, and we just kind of work that down. I know y'all not done. Okay. Now I think we're getting pretty close to kind of what we want here. Boom, coming off of this, there's a nice little line here. Okay. Very dark in this area. And the other eye is going to be right across here. So boom. The other eye should be probably about right here. Okay. Very dark in this area, which should have this spot coming off in here. All right, I think we're getting there. Okay. And obviously there's a spot right here. Comes off. Like that. Bunch of little spots here. And like I said, we're just having fun with it, man. At this point, you just keep going. Even if you see a mistake, I just like, hey, you know, let it go. Okay. So right up in here is where the tooth should be coming out. So it should be like a, I messed up right there. See, there should be like a groove here that comes over like this, where the shadow goes. Okay. Now the tooth part is going to be right up in here. Okay. All right, and this tooth comes straight into this gap here, so it should land right about here. So we want it to land there. And come back. Just like that. And then you got these dark spots here. That should come like that. Come up a little bit more. Okay. I mean, we're working it in, y'all. I mean, it's just coming together. It's just taking a little time. A little bit longer time than I thought I was going to take with this drawing, because I just want to kind of like do something quick. But we're just going to have to kind of block some stuff in and just go with it, yo. This should be a little darker. Okay. Okay. Your tube and stuff comes off this side, so it comes off right up in this area here. So there's a tube that comes like this and goes back into there. It's the approximate guesstimation of where this little tube and stuff is. I don't know if that's like hair or if that's just some kind of, it's like some kind of tube that comes off his head, you know what I mean? I don't know what you call that. Anyway, there's one there, and there should be one here coming off here. This is that little spot here that comes off. Boom, it goes right through there. You know, that's one there. Boom. We're gonna guesstimate this one here comes off and goes down to like right here. You know, I mean, it's coming together. It's just you gotta kind of guesstimate some of these joints. Which this one here comes like that, and it should be one coming like this. So something like that. Boom. And this is all tubes here, so it's like a dark spot here almost, like, so we could probably just black this in like that, you know, block it in, you know, to be something like this. And then there's a tube here. There's another tube here, so it should be like two back to back kind of. Boom. And it just gets darker, you know, because there's more tubes in there, but it's like darker and hard to see. So which one of them should be coming off into here like this. So we can just do like that, kind of darken that to make it look, give it like the illusion. And then, you know, obviously blacken this in like that. And we can add some shadows on it and stuff, and it's gonna be fine. There is kind of one that should be in here, like does like this or something, you know, which we're gonna just do like that. All right, cool. So that's as close as we're gonna get with that. All right, now let's work in the rest of this section and kind of like finish this up. So I think we start at the top here and kind of get some of these little lines in, same as before. And you kind of want to do like some dark spots here, little light spots, you know, a lot of little lines in there, you know, a lot coming down off of this side. Yeah. There's some spots over here that kind of like come down like this, you know, as it comes in, comes back to here, and there's like a little spot here that's kind of like right like that, you know. And like I said, you just kind of guesstimate with a lot of this stuff. It's easy, man. Just having fun with it. At this point, you just want to keep going. Keep making it. Doesn't have to be 100% perfect. We're just trying to make it look like the Predator. You know, that's pretty good right there. This part here is mostly just like little dark spots right there. Looks like he got some bumps kind of on his head there. But I mean, for the most part, it's kind of flat-ish. Maybe a little dark spot there. A little bit there coming down. Now we can kind of just start flowing with it, I think. Okay. From right here, it's like a little spot here. It looks funny. Something like that. In here. Like I said, you just have fun with this at this point, man. You just like, at this point, you just can kind of like freehand a lot of this stuff. Just go free with it. Just be free with it. You know? Okay, and on this side, it should come like that. All right, y'all, give me a second. Let me, all right, y'all. Sorry about the interruption there. This is the final tooth here, which actually should come down. Should come down a little bit more. I think I messed that up. This should come down actually a little bit more. So it should come down. I think we can go to here, down to here with it. The other tooth here. And there should be like a curvature here. I think I'm a little off there. Because this comes here. Okay. That's pretty close because there should be like a shadow down here. This should come down with a shadow. This should come down with a shadow. Okay. We're going to, this is not holding. So we're just gonna, we're just gonna work it without it. We're gonna work it without it because I need to work this in. At this point. And so, but up here you can just kind of like lightly go over this to kind of like, block in some of the shadows where you want them. I'm seeing here I want darker shadows though. Okay. Okay. And off to this side, there should be like some spots here. Okay. And just some spots coming down here. Okay. All right. So over here, there's some more spots that like we can kind of smudge in a little bit. And then there's some little spots here that are like kind of like I said, we don't have to have this 100% accurate. We just want it to be, close enough, y'all. You can go ahead and kind of darken certain areas in, to kind of simulate. This is all fabric right here, right? So we can kind of go ahead and etch in the fabric kind of looking stuff there. This part here can be darker, right? We can go darker here. So actually we can go ahead and bring in some black now. Let's get some black in there to kind of darken it up, because this is going to be really dark here. Okay, we know that his eyes there, they should be dark right here, so let's just go ahead and darken those in some. Darken his eyes in some. Okay, that's cool. I'm cool with that. What else can be like really dark? There's some spots in here that I kind of wanted a little darker. Kind of like, Maybe work in a little bit more darker there. Just above the eye. And this spot's supposed to be like really dark. So you can kind of work that in too. Really dark in there. You know, let's see. There's a spot in here that should be really dark too. It's inside his mouth. Should be really dark in there. And just kind of, we can kind of lighten that up as we go out. So we kind of bring that out like that. Bring this darker. Okay. And let's go. This goes a little lighter on this side. So we're gonna kind of take this ebony, you know, like that. Go a little dark there. Okay. Sharper edge there. Sharper there. Okay. I wanted it really dark here. There's like little spots in there that I want it a little darker. Okay. And we need it a little bit darker on top of his eye, a little bit. Just kind of like that. A little darker there. Let's see here. Okay. This should be a little darker. Let's go maybe with this one. A little bit. Okay. Gonna bring that down some. Okay. Okay. All right, I think we are getting to a good point, man. A good point where we can say stop and finish. Is it 100% perfect? No, it's not. But I mean, it's fun. It's fun, man. All right, so let's do some of his costume, and then we can call it, you know. Or his armor, as you would call it, I guess. Okay. And what do we got here? So this should actually come in like this. And then go down. Should be like a spot, a little circle here. With another one on top. Okay. A lot of this tubing, I'm kind of missing the mark on this tubing, huh? we can just kind of insinuate that it's there. You know, just kind of give it like a, you know. Kind of do something like that, maybe. Just get a feel for whatever. You know, maybe just kind of shade it a little bit. You know. You know, I think we're getting pretty close to finishing now. So this spot here, we've got like some kind of their language or whatever on this little tile here, and then there's another tile here, right? Comes something like that. And it's got like their language or whatever, so it's like, I don't know if I'm gonna get that right, but you know, whatever. Just gotta get kind of close to what it is, I guess. I mean, this ain't nowhere near close right here, but whatever. All right. And this is like real furry stuff right here on his outfit. So it would be like curls or something that you would do, you know, to make it like kind of furry coming off, you know. Let's see the best way we could do it. Real light. We could do it like this. And that'll give it the simulation of like it's like furry right here. Okay. And the leather actually comes in a little bit closer, so we can actually do like that and kind of like bring this in some. Something like that. All right. I mean, other than putting like the stuff in the metal here, you know, I think we got it pretty close, you know. This actually looks like it's kind of like really light there. Coming off of this like that. I'm kind of happy with our little sketch today. I mean, we had obviously this is some kind of metal pieces here, you know, that you could actually kind of touch in and, you know, do more. You could do more with the metal, obviously, because it's like, you know, darker spots all over the metal, right? You can shade it in. Make it look, you know, closer to the form. You know, it's a lot, but I mean, it just was a fun sketch, man. At the end of the day, I'm just having fun with a sketch. I hope you guys enjoyed this, y'all. If y'all, you know, want to draw with me, you know, we're picking something every Friday. You can, you know, put in the comments what you want to see me sketch. You know, we'll do it in a sketchbook. The sketchbook is getting pretty full, y'all. We working this thing out. Like, you know, you can keep messing with this too. Like, you know, that's more you could always do to this. You know, you can keep messing with it until you get it the way you want it, you know. Like I will keep playing with this all night if I keep going. So I don't want to keep going because I'll keep getting more and more detailed, you know, because obviously there's more details you can add in there, you know. The neck, you know, you could do a lot more into the face, little specks and all kinds of stuff. We're not going to do all that. We're just going to call it because I have other stuff I have to do tonight. So we have to end this soon, but I appreciate everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're going to do fun little sketches, you know, every Friday. You guys can tune in. We can just mess around with stuff, you know. Like I said, this was fun. It's not perfect, you know. We're just practicing. Sketching is practicing. So, yeah, man, a lot of fun. We're filling this book up too, y'all. Honestly, we are filling this book up. Look at what we've got. Like so many sketches. We just kind of did all these little sketches. You know, I can't even flip it because it's like, it's not, the book is not, you know, we're doing all these fun sketches, y'all. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the drawing. We'll come back next Friday. Until next time, you know what to do. I'm out of here, man.
Dad?
Yeah.
Can you feel the